Da, 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 da.
Now we got 26.
Welcome back to the Mr. Ryland Wrestling Podcast. Co-host Jaden.
Yep.
I am your reigning, defending, undisputed predictions champion. Will be putting this on the line tonight. We will not find out who the next champion is for a while.
Yeah.
We are doing our predictions a tad bit early because he's not going to be here for Bad Blood.
Yep.
So we're doing but they've announced 5 matches. There's been only 5 matches on like every B pay-per-view.
Yep.
So I'm assuming that we have all of them. If they do add a 6th match, which I highly doubt,
We'll just not count it.
it just won't count. It's fine. So it is what it is.
Yep.
First of all, we'll talk. How you doing, man? What you been up
good. I've been up to nothing because
The old injury.
Yeah.
Football's a dangerous sport. And what have I been up to? Well, speaking of football, I went to a Vikings game. That was fun.
Yeah.
Free food. I abused the free food. We had steak. Like, it wasn't just like free regular stadium food. It was steak, mashed potatoes, some gyros, some really good ice cream. And then I did have some chicken tendies and some hot dogs. I ate a lot. Free drinks too.
Nice, yeah.
Which I figured, but it was kind of fun. Like, they had coolers of drinks. You just walked over and grabbed a drink. That was kind of fun. And Megadeth concert was a lot of fun. It was, I would say, like, I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I enjoyed it more than the Metallica concert. Because just the sound quality was so much better in the Armory than it was in the US Bank Stadium. Not to mention, the opening bands were better. Like, I did not enjoy Ice Nine Kills at the Metallica concert. And All That Remains was really good, and Mudvayne was very good. And then, obviously, Megadeth was very good. It was a little hard to hear Dave at points, but other than that, it was very, very good concert. And being on the floor was a lot of fun. Instead of, like, in a seat kind of way away from it, we were, like, right there. Moving on. So that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
It's a good concert. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about wrestling. Before we get to our Bad Blood predictions, Jey Uso winning the Intercontinental Champion. Dude, I'm so happy.
I love it.
There was not a point in that match that I thought Jey was going to win until I looked at the time as he was going for the frog splash and saw that it was not 9:59. And I was like, oh my goodness. Unless Braun Breaker spears him midair, he's actually going to win. And then Braun Breaker did not spear him midair. 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso is your new champion.
That's cool.
It's so great. Now let me talk to the people that are ridiculing this and saying that it buried Braun Breaker. That is not a burial.
Mm-mm.
A burial would be if Braun Breaker were to suddenly, like, Cameron Grimes comes back and just beats Braun Breaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't count as a burial when a guy that's been on the main roster for 6 months loses to someone who's been there for 14 years. That's not burying, my friend. It's just not. And he's not a transitional champion because a transitional champion is a guy who takes it. Mm-hmm. It does nothing to do with the amount of time. It's a guy who takes it, and they only exist to give it to the next person. Mm-hmm. Like, that is to go on a reference from a long time ago, the Iron Sheik would be a transitional world champion because he took the title from Bob Backlund solely so Hulk Hogan could win his first title. Callbacks. That's what we love.
Yeah.
And then another example would be Braun Strowman's Universal title run.
Yep.
You know, like, he only took it because Roman Reigns backed out. He only took it to have it until Roman came back and Roman won it. Granted, The Fiend took it from Braun, but he only had it for a week. So that would also be a transitional champion for sure. So it does not matter the amount of time. I would argue even Drew McIntyre, his 5-minute reign at Mania was not a transitional champion. Like, he genuinely, in 5 minutes, elevated himself and that title and furthered his feud with Punk. Like, he did something as champion. A transitional champion is someone who does nothing as champion. Braun Breaker, although he only had 1 title defense, like, he did some stuff. He elevated himself. He didn't elevate the title, because let's face it, after Gunther, it didn't need elevating. But he elevated himself in the short time that he had it. I have no doubt in my mind that Braun Breaker will win it back. I don't see Jey having it very long.
No, I don't either.
So, but bottom line, I'm so glad Jey Uso finally got that singles accolade. I was starting to give up, kind of like with LA Knight, where I just was like, they're just never going to do it. They're going to keep teasing us. They're not going to do it. That's why we all say you got to let Papa H cook. It's why it's what we all have been saying. It's the truth. Gotta let Papa H cook. Moving on. Not quite the bad blood. We got some other stuff to talk about first. First thing I want to get your opinion on is Lucha Brothers coming to WWE. They have signed.
That's cool. That's nice for them.
It's quite a trade-off. AEW got Ricochet. We over here got the Lucha Bros. I would take that trade all day long.
Yeah.
Lucha Bros are great. I mean, honestly, I'm excited. Some people thought the mysterious symbol that was on Raw, I don't know if you saw it, was for the Lucha Brothers, but I get the feeling it was for the Viking Raiders after what I've seen. I don't think it was for the Lucha Brothers, but I'm very excited for the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hopefully they are the ones that take the titles off Finn and JD, because they need to lose those belts now.
Yeah.
Transitional champion.
Yeah.
Finn Balor and JD McDonough.
They're just holding them so someone else can take them.
Because really the aspect of a transitional champion, Jaden, that I really want to get clear is you constantly ask yourself, okay, when are they going to lose these belts?
Yeah.
That is how you know it's a transitional champion.
Yeah.
That is all we're saying with Finn and JD is not, man, their title reign's been good. It's when are they going to lose these things so they can actually be good tag titles? Braun Breaker, we never once were like, okay, well, seriously, when is he going to lose this thing? You know, like, so regardless of how short it was, he was not a transitional champion because we never asked ourselves, okay, but for real, when's he going to lose this thing? But with Finn and JD, that's all we're asking.
Yeah.
Is when are they going to lose these things so the tag titles can actually mean something again? Because, and here's the thing, people are quick to say that SmackDowns are also bad. I disagree. Currently, the Bloodline has them, or the Timu Bloodline, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And yes, they are positioned in a main event feud, getting their ass kicked by Roman Reigns every week. But they're also defending the titles. They're also in feuds with the Street Profits and DIY. They're versus JD and Finn are legitimately doing nothing. They are only in the Judgment Day feud, and they happen to have tag titles.
Yeah.
Like, they have become the equivalent of both of them just wearing fanny packs. Because they are meaningless right now. They mean nothing. Ignore the sound in the background. We have a low budget.
Yep.
Of $0. So, enough about that. Real quick, last thing before we get to Bad Blood is I want to get your thoughts that it has been confirmed, I think confirmed, SmackDown will be moving to 3 hours come January.
I'm pumped.
I'm pumped too. I think it'll be great under Triple H. Under previous regime, no, it would have been terrible. Raw was terrible under previous regime, but now Papa H is going to cook, as we say. So that'll be great. And I don't think it's been confirmed, but it's pretty much speculated that this 2-hour Raw is only temporary, and it's only till they go to Netflix, and it will be back to 3 hours. So cool your jets, everybody. Yes, it's gonna be kind of a struggle at first, I think, to get used to 2-hour Raw. I get it. Even I don't. I'm not excited for it, but I am of the camp of, it's only for a couple months. We'll be fine. We'll make it. Papa H will figure something out.
Yep.
So I'm excited. And I know Papa H, let me tell you. I know SmackDown, I know Raw. Let me tell you. I've been on them. I was the main focus of them going into whatever WrestleMania that was. Hair versus hair. Was it 23? Let me know in the comments if you know. I forget what WrestleMania that was. Was that 23? 22 maybe?
I have no clue.
Where they did the hair versus hair, billionaire versus billionaire. I don't know. I'm going to look it up after this because it's driving me crazy. Moving on. Now we're going to get to Bad Blood.
Yep.
5 matches. And, wait. One last thing.
What?
The 5-match pay-per-view. I have no complaints over it because
I don't mind it.
It leaves room for good stuff to happen on Raw and SmackDown. Think about it. Under previous regime, SmackDown and Raw kind of sucked because no big moments ever happened on them. There was no point to watching them, really.
Yeah.
Because you could just watch the pay-per-view, see the recap of their feud before the match, and then the big moment would happen on pay-per-view.
Yep.
Now, you have Jey Uso winning the IC title on Raw. You have Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, last monster standing on Raw. I mean, it doesn't need to be on pay-per-view. There is no rule that every big moment has to happen on pay-per-view. And I love it. I love it. It's even something AEW did. Like Will Ospreay versus MJF was an hour long on an episode of Dynamite for the international title. Yeah, they did have a rematch on All In, but their first match was on Dynamite. Yeah. So even AEW does it. there's nothing wrong with it. And if you don't like that we don't talk about AEW as much, we'll watch it. Comment, we'll watch.
Yeah,
well, maybe.
Maybe.
And maybe we'll talk about it
We'll
more.
try.
I keep kind of like, I don't really watch it much. I'm not going to pay for their pay-per-views.
Yeah.
If that's what you want me to do, it's not going to happen. I'm paying $50 for a pay-per-view. So let's move on to Bad Blood, officially. But wait, one more thing. No, I'm kidding. Where I will be putting this title on the line.
Yep.
And confidence points, you know, just in case you don't know the rules of confidence points, we'll explain them. Confidence points is the amount of matches there is. So there's 5 matches. So the match you're most confident in, you're going to put 5 points. The match you're least confident in, you're going to put 1. And there's a couple ones that I feel like aren't as predictable. So I think we don't have to do bonus points, but we'll see.
Maybe.
We'll come up with a couple bonus points. I have 1 bonus point right off the bat that we could do if need be. So we'll figure that out. But let's start. First of all, we don't know what the main event is. There's 2 possible main events. I have a feeling I know, and I hate that it is probably going to be the main event. But let's just start with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Now, should this be the main event? No, I don't think it should. It does not have the story that Punk and Drew has.
No.
Will it be the main event?
Probably.
Yes, because it's still freaking Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns teaming up.
It's Cody Rhodes.
There's no plane of existence where this isn't the main event. Regardless of if it should be or not, it's gonna be. I don't want it to be. I think that Punk and Drew...
Hell in a Cell should be.
Hell in a Cell. Historically, every Bad Blood pay-per-view was main evented by Hell in a Cell. Not this one.
No.
I just don't see it. I doubt it. So let's just start. Predictions. Who's winning? Will it be Roman and Cody? Or will it be Jacob and Solo? Now, to me, this is kind of an obvious one. It's just... Listen.
Okay, I'll listen.
I would love to see Jacob Fatu and Solo maybe get one over on Roman to start. Like, I think that's a good way to start this feud.
It would be.
But I don't see it happen.
No.
Yes, there could be the whole, can Cody and Roman coexist? But that's just so overused. It's such an... I don't remember what I was saying, so it's not going to happen. What was I in the middle of? Right. There's no way in my mind that I see Roman and Cody losing this match. And even if they do, I'm going to repeat some stuff because we were interrupted.
Yeah.
Even if they do the can they coexist, I think they're going to win. And honestly, my thing is that's such an overused thing. The two biggest, Roman, I guess Roman is kind of a babyface at this point. Your 2 biggest babyfaces teaming up, can they coexist? It's too much. Why do they do that all the time? Why can't they just I get they hate each other, but just be okay, we have a common enemy. Let's kill each other after this.
Yep.
We got this. But did you see their video package thing they did for them in the stadium?
No.
Where dude, it was so good. It was so good. We're watching that after this.
All right.
It was so good. And don't get me wrong, I understood. I've heard that there was some complaints about the people that were in attendance, that it kind of let the air out of their tires, that instead of them coming down to the ring to do something, they played this hype package where they're both in the stadium, and they both arrived at the stadium, and it was cool. We'll watch it after.
Okay.
It was very cool. But I loved it. I could totally understand where you would hate it if you were live. You paid money to go to SmackDown, and then you got a worse experience watching that than we did watching at home. So I totally would get that.
Yeah.
But my prediction for this match is Roman and Cody Rhodes. And that, I guess, I don't want that to be my 5-pointer, because I could see maybe Solo Jacob.
I know how much I'm going to put on that match.
I would say I'm going to go 3-pointer.
Yep.
Just middle of the road.
Same.
You're going the same?
I didn't use a pencil.
That's right, where you have 1 pencil. We're low budget here. You can't even afford 2 pencils.
I'll write it down here.
I guess I could go grab another one.
Yeah, probably. Roman and Cody. W.
W.
3.
Does this pencil work?
Maybe.
This ain't WCW. This ain't Monday Night Raw. This, my friend, is ECW. Sorry. ECW doesn't exist anymore.
No.
So, we both have that as our three-pointer. Yippee.
Yep.
Next match we'll talk about, because we might as well save the other possible main event for the end. We're going to go right to Nia Jax versus Bayley rematch. Right off the bat, Nia Jax is my pick, and that's going to be my 5-pointer. Because the other match, honestly, I thought they did a good job where, in my opinion, it's a little bit less predictable of a pay-per-view it's not ridiculously unpredictable, but definitely pretty good as far as unpredictable goes.
How much should I put on that match?
I don't know.
What other matches are there?
Well, we'll get to it. You don't get to know that before. That's cheating.
I'll do my points after.
That's cheating. You gotta do them now. Or I'm not telling you any more matches. No, you could change them up too. I'm kidding. So the other matches, well, we'll get to that. You can just leave it blank for now.
Yeah.
Next is the Women's World Championship match, as Rhea Ripley will take on Liv Morgan with Dominic Mysterio in a shark cage, hanging above the arena. That's hilarious. I love it. I love it. This feud has been so good. And that being said, I don't want Rhea to win. Because this feud has been so good, and I feel like the second Rhea wins,
it's going to be over.
The feud is done. I guess you could argue that if Rhea wins here, then there's going to be a rematch, but I don't think the feud is as good if
Rhea wins.
Rhea is champion.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Kevin Nash said in the Vince McMahon, or no, was it the Who Killed WCW? I just watched the Who Killed WCW documentary, and I think it was in that one that Kevin Nash said, where the money is when the good guy's chasing the title, not the good guy as the champion. And I think that applies here. I'm picking Liv, not because I think she's going to win, but because that's who I want to win, and honestly, I could see it going either way. Because it's just...
I figured out. I was going to put 4 and 9 on Bayley.
Okay. Now, I would say Liv Morgan's going to be my 2-pointer. That's my lower one.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Rhea and put 2 on it.
All right,
well, there we go. 1 on that match. Yeah, I'm going to put 1 on that match.
1?
Yeah.
Please, Liv win, because that could be the deciding fate. We might end up having a new champion if... Because if Rhea wins, not only do you get 1 point, but I lose 2 points. That kind of sucks. So, moving on to Finn Balor versus Damian Priest.
Yep.
What a match. No stipulation. I don't think there's one needed. It's their first match. I get that it's bad blood, but I don't think there's one needed.
No.
Because it's their first match.
Yeah, first match. They don't need it.
Now, what I'm disappointed, I would have loved to have seen Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade on here as their best of 7 series. Their best of 7 series on SmackDown has been so good.
It's been lit.
But that goes back to what we're saying, where not everything needs to be on pay-per-view. So it doesn't need to be. But this is one where I thought it could have been cool if it was. And I think even a stipulation like an Iron Man match
that would have been cool.
Or a 2 out of 3 Falls match would be cool. Because they're not a blood feud where they would need an Extreme Rules or a First Blood match. Their feud is solely on better. I think we talked about that last time. Low budget. Their feud is solely who's better. So they didn't need a blood. But again, if it happens on SmackDown, I'm still cool with it. It's fine. I'm cool with it. If anything, it'll make me tune into SmackDown more likely than if it was on Bad Blood. So, I'm down. Did you see, man, Melo's line after Andrade lost to LA Knight for the U.S. title? Andrade was walking in the back, and he said something, and Andrade goes, what did he was like, did you put the fries in the bag or something? And then they got into one of the best backstage brawls I've ever seen. It legitimately looked like they were hitting each other. It looked like a real fight. It didn't look like a scripted brawl. It looked like a legitimate fight. I'm almost convinced that they were talking before, and Carmelo goes, after I deliver this line, I want you to actually punch me, and then I'm going to actually punch you back, and we're going to actually punch each other a couple times here. I think they were told, make it look as real as possible, and they were like, okay, okay, we'll just make it real then. How about that?
We'll just actually fight.
Yeah. But I love how this was supposed to be about Finn and Damian, and we ended up completely going sidetracked. Finn and Damian, ladies and gentlemen, have bad blood. Oh, this is kind of a tough one where I feel like it's similar for me to the Rhea Liv, where if Damien wins here, I feel like it's done.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Liv wins, Damien needs to win.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they can't have both the Terra Twins lose.
Yeah, one of them's gotta win.
By the way, have you seen the new Terra Twins shirt?
No, I haven't.
It's badass. I'm going to get it for sure.
You
I'm
are?
definitely going to buy that sucker. It's such a great shirt. That's another thing I'll show you after.
Alright.
It's an awesome shirt. Moving on. Finn and Damien, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know. This is my one-pointer, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Where I could see it going either way, but I think I'm going to think. Because I feel like I have kind of two sides here where, similar to the Liv Rhea, where I feel like if Rhea wins, it's over. If Damien wins, where do you really go from there? So I feel like Finn needs it, so I'm picking Finn.
Who should I pick?
1 point. Does Finn have two ends in it? It doesn't matter. I think it does, but it doesn't matter.
I'll put Finn too. Just.
But you can't do 1 point. You already used that.
Yeah. It's got to be either my 2-pointer or my 5-pointer.
Which one are you going to do?
I'm doing 2.
So I figured.
Yeah.
Last thing we have to talk. Last match to talk about.
I'm just writing his name.
CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Hell in a Cell.
It's gonna be lit.
What a showdown this is gonna be. The way they've been talking, I see this being one of the most brutal matches in a while. If it lives up to the hype they've been building it as, this is gonna be a banger.
Yeah.
And I already know who I'm picking, but let's talk a little bit. So, the thing with Punk and Drew is, Drew won the first one, SummerSlam. Yep. Punk won the second one, Bash in Berlin. Now we're into our third one. I loved how they really repeated it for Bash in Berlin that did SummerSlam. Like, Drew won on SummerSlam. Next night on Raw, he comes out and is like, I'm done with Punk. I want the world title. Punk attacks him. Same thing happened. After Bash in Berlin, Punk comes out. I'm done with Drew. I want the world title. Drew comes out and hits like 50 claymores. It was great. As a non-Punk fan, I don't like him. I think he's so overrated. We both do, actually, so we share that. I put my bias aside for who I'm picking, because I do think I have to pick Punk.
Ooh.
Just, it's a matter of... I feel like this feud was designed to elevate both of them, but look at who's been elevated by losing. Drew.
Yeah.
Arguably the best work of his whole career right now has been on the back of losing. He lost multiple times for the world title, lost the title in 5 minutes, lost his Money in the Bank cash-in, lost to Damien in Clash of the Castle, lost to Punk at Bash of Berlin, and he keeps getting back up and somehow, someway, is better when he loses.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's possible. I've never seen it before. I mean, I probably have, but it's just he's been better by losing. Punk, on the other hand, I don't feel like he would be. I feel like he, as much as I don't want him to, I think he needs to win this feud because I feel like if he comes out of this feud as the loser, then goes into his feud with Seth as the loser, I don't think that'll be as good. I think he needs to go into his feud with Seth as the winner. That is why I am picking Punk.
You just persuaded me into picking Punk.
Damn it. Wait, were you going to pick Drew?
I was kind of 50-50, but then...
And then I really
Yeah.
hit you with the logic, and you were like, oh, well, that actually makes total sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we got?
That's my 5.
So, right off the bat, we both have Roman and Cody for 3 points.
Yep.
I have Nia for 5, you have Nia for 4.
Yep.
I have Liv for 2, you have Rhea for 1. I have Finn for 1, you have Finn for 2. I have Punk for 4, and you have Punk for 5. Do we need a bonus point?
Sure, why not?
Let's do a bonus point. Let's say, will Punk and Drew escape the cell? That's the bonus point right off the bat that I was thinking. If they do, will they fall off the top? No, they won't.
No.
I'll just tell you that right now. They won't. Honestly,
I could see it.
I think that there's so many great Hell in a Cell matches that they have escaped, and not as many great ones where they didn't escape. So I would say yes, But if you're also gonna say that, then it doesn't matter.
I'm just gonna say no, since you said yes.
Sweet. And I feel like part of the problem with that too is this is one of the first times in a long time that a Hell in a Cell match is actually deserved, where it is actually a feud that fits Hell in a Cell, because Hell in a Cell is like the feud ender.
Yeah.
And how it was under previous regime when they had the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is, well, it's the pay-per-view, we got to have a Hell in a Cell match. None of the Hell in a Cell matches during like the 2010s deserved Hell in a Cell like at all. With maybe a couple here and there sort of maybe deserved it, but most of them was, well, it's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Get inside the Hell in a Cell.
Yep, and just have a regular match.
I would argue, Cody and Seth deserve to be in it for sure. So I guess So there's one, but that wasn't quite as deserving as this one. And so will we see a new champion? Will we not?
Maybe.
I'm a lot less confident in this pay-per-view than I have been others. So we'll see. We'll see who walks out with this title. It won't be for a while that we find out, because Bad Blood is not this weekend. It's the weekend after. So we got some time. It's next week.
Yep.
I kind of thought it was Friday for a second there, and then I remembered it was Saturday. Because normally you come on Fridays, and you didn't.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because I was so busy yesterday, dude. I had a